Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this floating snowflake card. For the snowflakes I've used our Balmy Blue glimmer paper, which is absolutely gorgeous. On this one I've done the snowflakes on the back as well. I have another card that I want to show you today if I don't run out of time, and that's this one. And it's a floating snowflake but without the acetate, and what I've done with this one is I've put it on some, I think it's jewellery, cord of some sort. On the roll it's called crystal string, but I know somebody used to use fishing line. I've never seen it, so I don't know. But I've also moved on to doing the embossed sheet on the inside, whereas I didn't there, because I thought you can use that side to write a greeting, or you could do die cut letters or something on there. I just thought that looked rather nice going through there, so that's what I'm going to be doing. Also, I have been using different ways of doing the glimmer paper. This one I've used the Balmy Blue, and I've used our retired Dazzling Diamonds, which I have requested, put forward to Stampin' Up that please bring it back, we love this. So that was another idea. This one has been, I've painted the snowflakes using the Wink of Stella. So this is the one I want to show you once I've shown you the acetate one. So I'm not going to talk too much. Oh, before I go on, I will do actually. Before I go on, I want to show you two more cards that I've made this week, that if you want to see more about them, they're on my blog. But they've both used the Balmy Blue glimmer and also the die set and the same sentiment, which is from Snowflakes. Right, Snowflakes Wishes, that's the sentiment that I'm using. The dies that I'm using for today's card, I hope I don't confuse you like this, I'm using that and that, which is that one there and that one. I did want that, but that's too big for the size of my circle. This one here, it cuts the shapes out of the layer, so it's cut out from the white so you can just see through. And another one that I did was this one, again the Balmy Blue, and I did two of those and one of those. Okay, so that's what I'm using, and the other dies I'm using are the layering circles. So those two, if you want to see more, please see my blog, which is janbcards.com. Right, you won't see those again. Let's do this one and I will show the card pieces that you need. I'm going to be giving you A4 inches, so people, if you use A4 sheets, these are your measurements in inches. In the box below I will give A4 measurements in metric, and I will also give US inches, because you use a different size of paper, you don't use the A4, but they'll all be in the box below. Right, to start off with, you need a Whisper White card base, which measures 8 1/4 inches by 5 3/4, scored and folded at 4 1/8 inches. You need 2 pieces of Balmy Blue, which measure 3 7/8 by 5 1/2, one for the inside, one for the top. 2 pieces of Whisper White, which measure 3 3/4 inches by 5 3/8 inches. You need 1 piece of Balmy Blue, which measures 3 1/2 inches by 3 1/2 inches. You need 2 of those. I'm only showing you one because I've done my die cutting. I will do it with you, but I've got all that done ahead of time because I want to do the other card as well. You need a piece of Balmy Blue, which measures 2 inches by 2 inches. You need Whisper White, which measures 7 3/8 of an inch by 3 3/4 of an inch, 3 3/4 inches, and then you need a piece of Balmy Blue which measures 1 inch by 3 7/8 inches, so that's going to be layering on there. And you also need a piece of acetate which measures 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, so that's the same as that one there. Coincidence, that's all. Right, so that's all the card pieces you're going to be needing. So what I'm going to do is I will cut one of these and one of these first. That's with the big shot. Okay, yep. It's not the big shot, it's my cut and emboss, my new Stampin' Up machine, which is absolutely superb. It cuts through fancy dies so beautifully, and it does fold flat, not fold flat, the sides do fold up for when you're not using it, and the plates are just so easy to use. They're all numbered like that. 1, 2 and 3. Number 4 I believe is the magnetic plate, which I've just ordered. But the beauty of this is all the menus that you need for your sandwiches are all on here. So that's for thin dies there. This is for dry embossing using the hinges. If you want to do using, that's regular embossing folders and that's 3D embossing folders. And then if you put that one on, this is also for using thin dies. So that's on both, that's written on both of them, and of course 2 cutting plates. So I'm going to do the 2 snowflakes first, and also the circle. So with the layering circles, as you know, I always start counting. Smaller the label, the smaller the die, smaller the number, and I'm using the second to largest circle, which is number 7. Okay, it's a bit smaller than that one, and the largest scallop circle, which is number 8. Now with the circle you can either cut that one first or that one first, but I don't recommend you do both at the same time because they do overlap very, very slightly, so you might damage your dies. So I like to do this one first, and just make sure you've got enough, the same space on all 4 sides, because you've got to go in afterwards and cut that one. Also with this snowflake, pop it in the middle of your circle, and then try and make sure you've got the same gap away from the circle all the way round. Okay, and then the little one, that should just pop on there. Okay, and the top plate, there we go. So first of all, as you can see, this has die cut through first time. No rolling it backwards and forwards. And if you've got the die brush, if I'd put my sponge over, I could have used that just to knock those few pieces out. But it really is so much easier. So there's that one. Now what you have here is that one I'm going to come back and do the scalloped edge. And this one here, you have your snowflake, but you've also got that. Now I think I must be able to come up with an idea for that. So I've got loads of these because I've done so many. So you need two of these, and two of these frames. Now you will find that there is a little impression around the outside of the circle, and I can't tip that up to have a look at it because it's not a magnetic board underneath. I'm hoping that will arrive Tuesday. Just carefully do that one. Haven't thought of anything for that one, so that goes in the bin. And there we are, there's our frame, and you need two of those. So I'm going to pop my, oh there it is, I'm going to pop my big cut and emboss. It's going to take a little while to get used to saying that, back there for a while. Let's get rid of those little bits. Don't need that. I will be needing this again. So the next bit we're going to do is we need to cut the window in these three pieces, and this one we're going to emboss. So that's when I bring my machine back. Let's move these bits out of the way. They can just go there. So what I do, I use a removable tape, and what I do is I use it up the right way, a little bit there, which is where the window is going to be, and a little bit down there. Now what I have found with this is when I put it through the machine, the cut and emboss, I find that it pushes, the pressure is so great between the two that this almost acts as adhesive rather than a removable tape. So be careful as you pull it off. It's not the end of the world because this white piece is going to be adhered over it. Right, so that's like that. Let's bring the big shots back again. Now I'm just looking, oh yes, just looking around to see what I did with my embossing folder, but I can see that. Now as you can see, I have used my cut and emboss machine loads of times, so my plates are very, very well worn. So what I'm doing is, because I don't want my card stock to be marked with the scratch marks, I'm going to put paper underneath it and paper on top, and this is just recycling computer paper. Now I'm going to put the window so that that gap is about the same as that, and that one is the same. It doesn't matter if you're a little bit out. That is a bit stiffer to go through because obviously you're cutting through two pieces. Come back here. Right, obviously it's cut a hole in that piece, so we don't need that. Now I'm not going to separate those two because I don't want to waste time. I'll do that later on. But this one, be careful as you do separate it. As I say, it's quite strong. That's it. Okay, so let's remove that. I never know whether you do have to remove removable tape or not. I like to. Let's pop that straight in the bin. Now this layer is going to be embossed as well. That one's not, but with my card, which is here, I need to do a window there. In fact, I could have left it together for this. And I just position this where I want it to go on my card, and then I use a pencil very lightly to draw around. So that's where our window is going to go. Again, I want some paper to protect my card. I'm going to do it round this way because it's closer to me. Now the cutting edge of this die is right on top of that pencil mark. Now it doesn't matter if you're a very, very small tad out, but you shouldn't be able to see any of the pencil mark. As I say, I can't tip this one upside down because it's not magnetic. So I'm going to hope that I have positioned that correctly. Put another piece of clean paper. Oh, what are you doing? Try putting the first plate in. Let's try that again. Okay. Ooh, didn't like the sound of that. I know people always used to say that if you hear the crackle and everything when you're using your Big Shot, it's a sign that it's working. But I always say that I'd rather that I saw that it was working by sight rather than hearing that. So there we go. There's my card. So next I want to do the embossing. And the embossing folder I'm using is the Winter Snow, and this is a regular embossing folder. So what I need for this is use with standard embossing folders, and not that one. You want number 1 and you need 2 of number 3. So I have that one there. And I don't spray these either. I don't know whether I'm supposed to or not, but it is embossing beautifully. If you remember where it says Stamping Up, that's the front of the die. So that's the front of my card, embossing folder rather. And I really don't imagine that it matters whether it's in there straight or not. Oh, I don't need that now. So I've got the fold going in first. I've used this for quite a bit of embossing, and I haven't been disappointed at all. Look at that. Now that's not a 3D embossing folder, that's just a regular. It's beautiful, really beautiful. So there's that one, and I need this one for the inside as well. So that's the front. There we go. Then I think that is probably all we need the big shot for. Cut and emboss. Okay. Really beautiful. So let's put that. Let me just show you how it folds up. It's really brilliant. Let's put that one with that. Now the only thing I don't like about it is it can't be done quietly. Okay, so cover your ears for the moment. Ooh, there we go, not too bad. But that sits on the desk like that, and honestly, I feel that I've got stacks and stacks of room on my desk when it's sitting on the end, all folded, closed rather. I must get used to saying closed. Right, so we have this, we have this. We have a bit of acetate. So first of all, I'm going to adhere the two bits on the inside of my card, which are these two. Oh, where's my silicone sheet? A lady emailed me last week sometime and said she was having problems hearing me. She said she didn't know whether it's because my voice is soft, which I know my voice is soft, but whether that was what the problem was or whether I actually need she didn't say that I needed a external mic, but I am thinking that maybe I do. Anyway, I had a word with hubby to get him to have a look into me having an external microphone, and he found that there is a setting on my camcorder that he feels was probably not the correct setting. So he has changed it, so I'm hoping that there is a difference. So if you're the lady, I think her name was Wendy. I meant to check up before I started videoing today, but whoever the lady is, I'm sure it's Wendy, if you do notice a difference, maybe you could let me know. I'd appreciate that. The thing is with my voice, it's not often that I raise my voice. I don't normally have reason for shouting, which I'm very lucky. I don't get cross easily. So glue that one onto here. Now it should be straight. Yes, and we can do these pieces as well. Now on this one, just put a little bit of glue in the centre. You don't want too much, otherwise it'll start oozing out. So I'll get a new bottle there we go. Get a new bottle so I don't waste time trying to get some Tombow out. Right, there we go. In fact, what I'm going to do is just bring a piece of paper over and give it a quick blotting. It's only that little bit there that's a bit thick. Right, let's do this one. Now with the other card that I want to show you, it's once you get this far, then you start doing different things. Okay, that's a bit wonky. I should have another one. Still a bit wonky, but never mind. It's not as bad as that one. was I saying? I really don't like it when I interrupt myself. Oh yes, I was saying about this is the same point that you get to if you want to make the snowflake that's on the string. I don't like calling it string. It's like nylon cord, really. Almost invisible, but just a little bit white, I suppose. Right, I've done that one. So now we'll do one on the inside as well. There we go. So before we put this one on, okay. So now what we do with our acetate, we use glue dots to get it to adhere to the piece here. In fact, I could put little glue dots on there, couldn't I? Okay, so I'm just going to put one in each corner. Oops, there you go, that's it. That's it. Okay, and acetate. Just pop that on top. And then pop that onto there. And when you do that, there isn't much gap around the edging here, but do make sure you put some glue on all of that edging, and then you can put some more on the acetate. So that'll stop the acetate from moving. Okay. The reason I decided that I would give this a try by using straightforward Balmy Blue Cardstock was I had an email from a lady yesterday, and she sent me a photograph of the card she had made doing the stable door card, which I did 2 weeks ago, and she said she didn't have the same products that I've used, so she's used her own products. And it was a really good timely reminder, because you know, if you're in one of the countries that Stampin' Up don't supply to, or I use something that you don't particularly like, and although you could buy it, you decide not to, as long as you've got something that you can improvise with, it's brilliant. And this lady's card was really lovely. She had used another card for her trees, and it worked out beautifully. I've got some, I don't know where that's come from, red. Don't really like putting my finger on there because that leaves a fingerprint. Right, okay, so we've got that far. Now we have the snowflakes, and this time I haven't done anything about glittering. This is natural. Now, I've done 2 of these, but they aren't exactly symmetrical. So when you put them like that, they aren't perfect. But there is one position you can put them in where it is the where they don't meet up is so slight. So I should have worked this out beforehand, but it's good for you to see. I'm just moving the top one round one at a time. Ah, that's the one, I think. So what I do is with my pencil, I hold on to that one, And I put a pencil mark there and a pencil mark there, so I know that those two have got to go up to the top. So what I do first is one of the large ones. Now when you do this, you have to just be very careful that you don't push hard so that you slide. When you put this onto here, you have to be really gentle because it's very easy for it to scoot across the acetate. Now this is coming out a little bit too thick for my liking. You see, I'm just going in a straight line there. So bring my paper over again. So just give that a quick tap down. Right, that's my pencil one. So I'm just going to put that right up at the top. I'm centering this. So I've got about the same gap between all the edges there. If you wanted to paint these with your Wink of Stella, then I recommend that you do it before you adhere them on there. Now with this one, I only do a little bit in the centre there, and depending on what I've done, for example, when I used the Dazzling Diamonds, I used a glue dot for this. But as this is natural cardstock, Tombow will be absolutely brilliant. So then once I've done that one, I open up, I put the glue on exactly the same way again, because as you can see the glue on there. So by putting this one on the back, it will cover that up. Now I know that I could have used the reverse side and that would have been identical as the one on the front, but as you know, with the reverse side it doesn't have that nice curved edge to it. When I'm doing something and I can't avoid doing that, what I do is I do it on the wrong side and then I use my bone folder to flatten out the edges. It still doesn't look as good as if it's done the right way round, but if it's unavoidable then it doesn't look too bad. Right, now this one is going to go on top of that one there. I'm going to get my pencil mark again, which is that one there. And nobody's going to notice that that is very slightly out. They'll be too busy admiring what a great card it is. Just have a look round from the front to make sure that they are lined up correctly. And then again, this one I'm going to do just from the centre. There we go, that looks like a good amount. And I put these point in between the points of the one that's on this side. Come on. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now what I did with the glittery one, I just bent these upwards a bit, just give it a little bit of dimension. I mean, you could put that top one on a dimensional if you wanted to. So what I need to do now is I need my rhinestones, which are just here, and I just put one on the front in the centre of my snowflake. And then all I need to do is my sentiment, which if you follow my blog you know that I always use my stamparatus now for all my stamping. So I have my sentiment lined up here. My pencil mark tells me I need to put my white cardstock there. So that's this bit. Okay, so it's on that line. And I need my ink, which is here. That doesn't look very straight. That definitely doesn't look very straight. Have I moved that? Oh my goodness, yes I have, haven't I? I moved it when I washed it. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pretend that I've done it, okay? So what I'll do is I'll put this one in place and then afterwards I will correct that. I'll do another one and put it on. If you have a look at my blog on Sunday, you will find that I have done this one. How would you remember that it's this one? It's the one that it's all balmy blue, no glitter or anything on it, and it's with acetate. Now the sizes of these layers are that the blue goes from blue to blue and the white goes for white to white. I think that looks straight. Let's have a look, line this up. That's on that one there. Make sure that's straight. And does it go across? Yes, it does. Right, so that one we're going to say is finished. I'll bring the other card over. Let me put the ink away. Right, okay. Now I said I'd got this card as far as doing all these bits. Now what I've done on this one is I've put some self-adhesive snowflakes on there as well, which I thought looked rather nice through the window. I will do it to that one as well. Let me show you these snowflakes. Now I like these ones because they are self-adhesive, and I don't like the self-adhesive ones that got holes in them and sequins. So these are beautiful, and you get two sheets in there, and one sheet is like the pinks, oh that's better, okay, all pinky sort of orangey colours, and this sheet that I'm using is all bluey greeny type of colours. Okay, so they really are lovely, and I will do it on the front here. So what we need to do is show you what to do with these. So first of all, I didn't mark these either, so first of all find out where they look best together. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now what's the chances of it being number 6? Oh no, look, it's number, I think that's number 5. I think that's the best one. Let's go round to number 6 just for a peek. Oh no, that's the best one. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. If you have a look, oops, I'll hold them on the end. you can see that they're not actually on top of each other if you look at the two that are pointing to me. But it's so small, I really don't think people will notice. Now this is my crystal string. Okay, you can't see it obviously, well almost, but it's just like a string of plastic, I suppose. So if I just take a piece of this, let's get my scissors. It's got the number 0.3 on here, and it says crystal string, so presumably if you're a jewellery maker that means something. Oh. And I let that go, didn't I? Right, that one and that one. Try doing it without dropping it. Okay, that one and that one. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use a little bit of snail just on the top there, a little bit there. This is just to hold the string while I'm working. And when you put it on here, you want to make sure that it comes off your snowflake right at the point of that top bit. And at the bottom here, you want it to come straight off the point down here, so that it really is centered. I think I've just actually missed the spot there. It's gone, that's better. It went too close to the edge. Right, please just hold. And you. This is probably the only bit that's a bit fiddly. Otherwise it's really quite easy. Okay, so now I'm going to put Tombow, and I am going to put my Tombow so it goes underneath the string as well. So I'm just rolling it in there. And then this end as well. Glory be. Don't really want that much in there. Just trying to move some of that glue off the top one onto the rest, because this one I do want glue almost all over the arms of the snowflake. There we are. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this one on the top. Now I've got my pencil mark up there, pencil mark at the top on this one, and then adhere that. Right. If you can use your fingernails to push them so one is up properly on top of the other as far as it's going to go. There we go. Alright, so now we're going to adhere this onto here, and for that we're going to use regular tape, and what I do is I take a little length of it, very unlike me to leave it like this. There we go. Right, okay, let's get my glue scissors. Just put that on the side of my desk. And what I do is I cut this in half lengthways. And then with this facing down, I position my snowflake in the centre of the hole there, and then when I'm happy where it is, I put that one on there, that one there. I don't pull it tight because it will just pull the other one up if you do it at the moment. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on my grid paper, and that should be in the middle. So I'm going, you can't see this, no you can't. So I'm going to put that and that just under 2 inches on either side of my number 8. It's almost like it's a 1/16 of an inch in from both of them. Oh, look at that. That's got to be on the dark line. That's got to be on the dark line. I'm not interfering with that. Right, let's cut the top off. And the bottom. Now the thing that I found with the other one that I did was where I have put the glue to anchor it in place, this one, I wondered where that went. That was on my bit of acetate. Where I've adhered that on top of the front and it's got the string underneath it. I don't know if you can see that there's a bit of a bump there. I think you can see that, can't you? So on this one what I'll do is I'm going to cut a Whisper White fancy shape to cover that up, because that's where people are going to be needing to sign anyway. And this one I've cut a lot shorter, so hopefully it won't show. Now I'm going to put this on the front of my card. I'll come and do the other 2 snowflakes in a moment. And I'm going to put glue, and I'm going to go over my tape, and I'm going to go over the string, top and bottom. And as I'm doing it, I'm trying to move the string so I know that some of the glue goes underneath there. That's it. Make sure the tape is glued down as well. That will get anchored down. There we go. And we just hope that it all lines up. Okay, now I've still got these 2, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little Oh, still got a diamond in there. Just put some glue on the centre. In fact, this one I put a little bit more on. I go up to those, like, almost leaves, if you like, so that I can anchor the other side down on it. This is what I forgot to do on my first one. Right, again, these are going to go in the middle. Let's open that up because I put glue on the two that I think look like a pair of leaves. In fact, I doubt if the other side's going to reach, is it? Mind you, it doesn't matter because at least they'll be equal with each other. Okay, let's turn that side. In fact, I wouldn't recommend that you did that bit with putting glue on the leaves. Now I'm just lining these up with the snowflakes underneath. There we go. Now on the front I put a rhinestone, and what I'm thinking about here is I might as well put one of these. I don't want a rhinestone on the inside because if it gets posted it's going to dig a hole in there. Oh, I don't want pink ones, let's have the bluey ones, bluey greeny ones. There we go, that's all right. And the other thing that you could do with this one is before you put the card in the envelope, you can twist the snowflake so that when somebody opens it, make sure, if you do, make sure you've got the rhinestone up there, so when they open it, it spins round. Okay, then the last thing is for my snowflake wishes, which you saw me do crooked on the other one. So let's just pop this on. No, it's twisted round by itself. And that's it. There we go, so the blue lines up with the blue and the white with the white, so it looks like a straight line down there. You could put this one on dimensionals if you like. Let's see, have I got that one straight? That looks like it, yep. So there we go, 2 projects for you today. I hope you like them both, and I hope you give them both a try. I'm sure most people will have a favourite, and of course whichever way the glitter is done, that's the one that will have the sentiment done on it. Was that all? I thought I should have had 3 of each. Well, here's one. Oh no, 2 and 5, 2 and 3 wasn't it? It's 5 altogether. So there we go. Many thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this project and I hope you give it a try. I will put all the measurements in inches, metric and US sizes in the box below, as well as all the products that I've used, and there'll be a link to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. If you do shop with me, please remember to use the HOSTESS code, so when I send you Happy Mail at the end of the month, I can also include some free product for you. During September, I'm also offering all my customers a 5 packets of retired ribbon, and they will arrive like this, so they're all nicely wrapped up. They may be retired colours, they are definitely retired styles, but each one of these will be 2 yards. This one, for example, is a bit over. It's 2 yards 10 inches, but it will be a minimum of 2 yards rather. And I'll also give you a 6th bag, which will be any kind of length because it was the end of a roll. So that's all my customers who place an order minimum of £30 before you add delivery charge, and it is one per customer. So place your order with me, and I'll be delighted to send that out with your Happy Mail. So you'll also get a handmade greeting card from me, unused, with an envelope, and also a handmade gift. So it really is happy mail. If you've enjoyed my video and would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button, and then by the side of that you'll see a bell. So click on that and you will be notified each time one of my videos goes out. I think that's probably about it. So many thanks for joining me today. Please take care, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Happy crafting. Cheerio.